Recessions can adversely impact Social Security's long-term financial health 3 different ways. First, the payroll tax revenue, it may be affected. The payroll tax brings in most of the program's revenue, and during recessions, it's not uncommon for the unemployment rate to rise and for workers to lose the wage guard bargaining power. If a recession adversely impacts payroll tax collection, it can accelerate the timeline to reduce the benefits. That means less people will be getting stimulus checks. Now folks, here's the most important stimulus, Social Security news, and stimulus information that you want. Continue watching this video so you don't miss out on this. Current inflation rate, economists are expecting that Social Security checks will only increase a small amount next year. This is a big issue as millions of Americans rely on the program. Democrats are meeting and trying to come up with ways to prevent a drastic decrease in monthly benefits. For most retired Americans though, Social Security isn't just some check that comes in the mail or is deposited into their checking account once monthly. Rather, it's a vital source of income that helps seniors make ends meet. The program is responsible for pulling nearly 22 million people out of poverty each year, 16 million of which are adults ages 65 and up. And since 2002, at least 80% of surveyed retirees have told the National Pollster that Social Security benefit is a major or minor source of income. And because of the important role Social Security plays in the financial well-being of seniors during retirement, there's arguably no more event more than anticipated in the program's annual COLA during the second week of October every single year. Social Security's COLA is the raise that the program passes along to beneficiaries most years to account for inflation, the rising price of goods and services. Raises in quotation marks to represent that this is an increase in benefits designed to match the rate of inflation and not to outpace it, which can happen with a more traditional raise from an employer. The program has had a consistent inflationary tether with the CPIW. CPIW was a handful measure that spending categories and list of subcategories last year. These weighings are what allows the cost of living adjustment to be calculated, and Social Security's COLA for the current year is historically high. This 8.7% increase has received the biggest year-over-year percentage increase in benefits in 41 years. The average retiree enjoyed a yearly $150 increase to the monthly Social Security check in 2023, but a roughly 2 to 3% COLA would equate to a more modest $37 to $55 boost per check, and based on a report released last year, the purchasing power for a Social Security dollar has declined by an almost 40% since 2000. What $100 in Social Security income could buy in 2000 now can buy only $60 worth in today's economy. And currently, lawmakers in the U.S. are considering changes to this entitlement program just to make sure things can go well for the people. Now, currently, people can retire as early as 62 and receive the benefits earlier than that. But what's important to note is that not until age 70 that the highest amount of benefits are awarded for the delayed retirement credit, even though the full retirement age is currently 67 for most people. So the economists are pushing for a $8,000 fourth stimulus check, everybody. This will be a one-time inflation relief check, and these checks can be automatically deposited to eligible households and Americans that receive the monthly benefit checks. So, for instance, New Mexico is already sending out $400 checks. Another state like Maine is sending out $800 payments. So everybody, it's pretty good to see that President Biden, Republicans and Democrats and governors are doing what it takes to send out stimulus payments and help out the American people and send out stimulus checks before it's too late, because President Biden definitely has the authority to do so. We're just waiting on President Biden to take some action. But now, a total of 3 rounds of stimulus checks were deposited into people's bank accounts over the past several years in order to help people and shield people from the devastating effects of the crisis. But the crisis has not stopped affecting millions of people's lives. For instance, Americans will spend thousands of dollars in extra money this year, in part due to the after effects of the crisis. And many are hoping from the federal government that they will take action to help defray the big expenses with another stimulus payment. Since the crisis has led to surging inflation, which has impacted many families and senior citizens, factors that are causing inflation. We have a ton of news about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI, and SSDI. Joe Biden can be sending out the fourth stimulus check in 2023, and we're ready for him to do so. First of all, new progress is being made on the latest relief proposals. Legislators in the state of Minnesota have just proposed a release detail. The good news is that the plan includes cash back to Minnesota residents, and representatives have even said that the bill makes the largest tax cut in Minnesota's history. But these just aren't any tax cuts. The cuts in this bill are targeted to those who need it the most. The proposal mostly benefits the low-income and middle-income people. This proposal has several provisions as well. including a one-time rebate check of $275 per taxpayer, plus more for up to 3 dependents. It means a family of 5 could live and see $1,300 if they make less than $75,000 a year as a single filer, or $150,000 as a married couple filing jointly. Now, the bill stops short of a full exemption of Social Security income from state tax for all the seniors, which is a top Republican priority that several Democrats in the Senate also said they support. According to the Minnesota Department of Revenue, half the filers don't pay taxes on Social Security right now, but these changes mean that 76% of seniors would pay no taxes on those benefits. There's also a $100 million boost to state aid to cities and counties so communities can provide some public services without levying huge property tax increases. The proposal includes credits and rebates, but also new tax changes to bring in more revenue on an ongoing basis since most of the budget surplus is one-time money. It creates a fifth income tax bracket of 10% for married couples making more than $1 million a year and individuals making $600,000. The current highest tax bracket is 9.85%. The stimulus checks and other types of crisis-era relief greatly impact the economy, and Congress has already created trillions of dollars into the economy, helping Americans cover some of their basic living expenses. And also pay down debt, because according to experts, the same theory should apply to the Biden administration's student loan forgiveness plan. Some people have their debt wiped out, while others will believe for their lower monthly student loan payments. The amount of student loan debt in the United States has reached a staggering $1.76 trillion, as according to the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. Most students now take out student loans to attend college, with the average student graduating with $29,000 in debt. That means many students graduate with even more debt, which can make it more difficult to keep up with student loan payments while paying for everyday necessities. After its announcement last August, the Supreme Court has blocked Biden's plan to forgive up to $20,000 in federal student loan debt. Until a final decision is made, everyone with student loan debt is going to remain in limbo. If the plan passes, the White House estimates the program will provide aid to over 43 million borrowers, and an estimated 20 million borrowers will see their remaining debt balance canceled. Nearly 90% of debt cancellation will actually go to borrowers earning under $75,000 a year. Analysts have already noted that the Biden's plan includes provisions to cap monthly payments for undergrad loans to 5% of the borrower's discretionary income. And this could help so many people gain more stimulus checks, everybody, in 2023. The IRS has released some very important announcements. Millions of you guys can expect to receive some bonus relief payments this month.
And by the way, there are a lot of jobs coming to people that you're going to need to train up people, thanks to the bipartisan infrastructure bill. Everybody knew, and you heard from my secretary a little bit earlier, America's falling behind in infrastructure.
But there is a deadline. Taxpayers have just a few weeks left to claim this money. And so, here is some big news. The IRS is sending refunds to